Greetings. Today's topic is about the components of a strategic statement. The last time we talked about the introduction to strategic management, in which we come to realize that the word strategy is one of the most used word in business. It is something that is understood by many people without giving so much definition about it, because people can just simply understand its idea. When we speak about strategy again, these are plan of actions. These are specific actions that should be done in order to achieve certain goals or certain vision or even the mission of a particular company. We come to realize that a plan can be a strategy or a perspective or a culture or or an organizational behavior can also stand as a strategy, or even the position, the competitive advantage, or even the ploy, a particular action in which it aims to outsmart the strategy of another company. So having said these things, the word strategy or the idea or the context of strategy is sometimes underestimated in a manner that people think that when there is an action, they will just simply apply it without even thinking twice whether it is actually the right thing to do. That's why we also discuss how will you able to decide whether a particular strategy is the best strategy to do or to lay in the table so that it can actually help you to achieve a certain goal. We come to realize that a strategy can be that in deciding which strategy is the best one, we need to somehow think about it, laid it in graph so that we can clearly see whether a particular action is considered a dominating strategy, a kind of strategy that will give the ultimate, the highest possible, the maximum benefit to the company, to the stakeholders, or whether it is considered as the equilibrium strategy, in which or we recognize that it may not be giving us the ultimate or the maximum benefit, but at the same time we know that it cannot harm us in the same manner. For instance, in our example the last time, it is very clear that if this particular two candy store will unite, talk to each other, and decide that they will not drop or decrease the price of the candy, even if the price of sugar decrease, it's illegal because it's collision. All right, so the dominating strategy there is for these two candy store to talk to each other, magkampihan sila, magkuntsabahan sila, and then the benefit will be they will enjoy the same market share, they will have an increase of profit. It's because bumaba yung presyo ng asukal, which is the primary ingredient, and at the same time hindi nagbaba ng presyo pagdating sa mga ibinebenta. But then the problem there is, what if nahuli ka ng gobyerno or nalaman na nagkukuntsabahan? So definitely the question there is, the cost of the benefit is not worth it to the possible harm that you may encounter once you do or once you execute that particular strategy. And so, what is now the equilibrium strategy? After doing that, we come to realize the equilibrium strategy in that particular case or example is that both of the candy store will decrease the price. So therefore, they can retain their market shares, and at the same time, there's no harm of possible suing of the government because they know that they have done their part. It is equilibrium in a sense that they cannot, or probably they will not be able to achieve the highest possible benefit of that particular strategy, but at the same time it lessen the probability of harm or detrimental effect to the business. Now we will talk about how do particular company lay down or conceptualize a strategy? Because you may just simply think that if I sit down here and will really think about the problem or what I really want for the business, I can have a strategy. Well, that is correct. But technically, ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned the last time, when we speak about strategy, there are certain bases that you consider for you to arrive with that particular strategy. Hindi naman ito isang bagay na out of nowhere eto na agad yung gusto mong gawin para sa kumpanya or para sa negosyo. There are certain factors that you considered for you to say, this is the strategy that I want, these are the strategies that are feasible, these are the strategies that are not. And one of the primary consideration or one of the bases for you to come up with a strategy is the strategic statement. So what is a strategic statement? A strategic statement in some books or in some references is coined as strategic intent. When you speak about strategic intent, it gives a picture about what an organization must get into immediately in order to achieve the company's vision. It talks about the aspirations of a particular company. So therefore, when we speak about strategic intent, this talks about the vision, the mission, the goals, and the objectives of a particular organization. Going back to my main point, as mentioned, when we speak about conceptualizing strategies, the primary consideration, whether it's in the process of formulating strategy or deciding which one are you going to implement or execute, is to check whether this strategy is aligned in the mission, vision, goals, and objectives of the company. The last time we talked about the idea of fit, according to Michael Porter, all right, strategy should fit within the organization or in the idea or the context of all the stakeholders concerned. It's because we would like to make sure that the strategy that we conceptualize, that the strategy that we will about to implement is really aligned to what the company wants to achieve in the future or what the company wants to do now. Now, when we speak again with the strategic intent or the vision, the mission, the goals, and the objective, it includes directing organization attention on the need of winning, inspiring people by telling them that the targets are valuable, encouraging individuals and team participation as well as contribution, and utilizing intent to direct allocation of resources. The main point here is that when we speak about mission, this is technically what is the main point why company or businesses exist. Why are you here? That is your mission. So therefore, talking about mission as a strategic intent will be able for people, for stakeholders, particularly for employees, to be able to use the resources of company to do their purpose. Why are they here? So therefore, kung malinaw sa mga empleyado, malinaw sa lahat ng stakeholders ang dahilan, why are you here, why are you serving the people, they can actually provide the best services to the people out of the available resources that they have in the company. Speaking about vision as a strategic intent, it is crystal clear. All right, it gives a clear picture for all the stakeholders concerned what the company wants to achieve at a certain point in time. So mission as a strategic intent will allow the stakeholder concerned to understand that this is the purpose why we are here. Vision as a strategic intent will make all the stakeholders understand what the company wants to achieve at a certain point in time. By the way, I keep discussing about stakeholders, just like the word strategy. When we speak about stakeholders in business, we commonly hear these terms. But then again, how are we going to define clearly the idea of stakeholders? When we speak of stakeholders again, this can be people that are within the company, and this can be people that are outside the company but has something to do with the company. Example, competitors, suppliers. They may not be directly involved inside the operation of the business, but somehow they can directly or indirectly participate in some of the activities that has something to do with business. I hope I'm getting myself clear. So let's proceed. It in Strategic intent differs from strategic fit in a way that while strategic fit deals with harmonizing available resources and potentials to the external environment, just like the idea of Michael Porter, that strategic fit is about harmonizing, making sure that the available resources will be maximized to achieve a certain goal. Strategic intent is not only about maximizing the available resources, but, all right, trying to look for possible resources that you can use. When we speak about strategic intent, your vision, your mission, your goal, and your objective, you are not only looking at the available resources that you have at the moment. Because if you will just simply consider what you have at this point in time, how will you able to achieve now your vision? Probably you may say, ito lang yung meron kami. How can we be the best one? How can we be the market leader? Ito lang yung meron kami. That talks about the idea of strategic fit, in which with what you have, you maximize that and look for means on how can you use that on your own benefit. But strategic intent goes beyond that. It is about looking at the possible resources that you can create and exploit, that you can use as that you can use on your own advantage, or in other words, you can use it as your own opportunity. All right, I hope the idea of strategic fit and idea of strategic intent is clear now. All right, now let's go now one by one. What are the ideas or concept that are connected with strategic fit? Again, ulitin ko lang, why are we talking about this one? It's simply because once you start to conceptualize or plan to have or establish your own business, the very first thing that you need to do is to think of your mission statement, your vision statement, the goals and the objectives that you have in the company. And so therefore, if you cannot create a credible strategic intent. When I say strategic content, I'm referring to vision, mission, goal, and objective. If you cannot make a credible one, what will be your basis of strategy? Ano ang panghahawakan ng mga plano na gagawin mo kung wala kang pagsasandalan? Alright, that's the right term eh. Saan mo ibabangga ang gagawin mong pagpaplano kung walang malinaw na pinapatunguhan? When we speak about mission statement again, this is the statement of the role by which an organization intends to serve its stakeholders. Again, stakeholders, primarily it refers to the competitors or the consumers or even the employees. It describes why an organization is operating and thus provides a framework within which strategies are formulated. In layman's term, definitely you know this one. When we speak about mission, it is the purpose or the reasons why a particular company exists. It describes what the organization does. Example, present capabilities, who all it serves, its people, the stakeholders, the specific customers that it caters, and what makes an organization unique, the reasons for existence. Now, there are three important things that mission statement should answer. The first one is, what does your company do? The second one is, what does your company do it? And the third one is, why does your company do it? So our activities will focus about scrutinizing some of the strategic intent of the successful businesses that we have, and even about dissecting the strategic intent of the Pambayang Dalubasaan ng Marilao. Answering these three questions, all right, what will be now your suggestions and recommendations when it comes to the strategic intent of a particular institution or organization? So let's analyze this specific mission statement of some of the famous brand that we have today. A mission statement differentiates an organization from others by explaining its broad scope of activities, the product it offers, the technologies it uses to achieve its goal and objectives. It talks about an organization's present, about where we are. The difference between mission and vision is that, talking about mission, this is now what you do now, what you offer now. But talking about vision, it is in the future. You are trying to look at what will you become after a certain period of time. Now, for GAP, for instance, their mission is, we create emotional connection with customers around the world through inspiring product design, unique store experiences, and compelling marketing. All right? So it's very clear here that they want that what they do is to cater or to give the best when it comes to consumer experience. How did you do that? How did you say so? Looking at the mission statement, they want to create emotional connection with customer. And that word, create emotional connection, sum up or sufficient or ample to justify their claim that they want to give the best consumer experience. Now let's proceed to Apple. The Apple mission statement is, we design the best personal computer in the world. So therefore, it's very clear here that they are design leadership. They are into design leadership that lead the digital music revolution, reinvented the mobile phone, and are defining the future of mobile media and computing devices. All right? For Levo League. Our mission is to create a trusted community of young professionals who are invested in supporting each other. Success in game-changing leadership position, social service. How did you say so that this is their mission? It is about inventing a trusted community for young professionals. So therefore, what have you noticed? From the mission statement itself, by just simply reading the mission statement of a particular organization, you can easily say, what do they do? And so therefore, upon understanding what do they do as organization, you can now think, do they have value? It's because as we get along, we try to understand that a particular company exists if they have value. And if they don't have value, why do people will continue to patronage them, to pay to continue to buy their product, to continue to avail their services? All right. Now, let's have this example. Another mission statement, Coca-Cola, to refresh the world, to inspire moments of optimism and happiness, to create value and make a difference. For Pizza Hut, we take pride in making a perfect pizza and providing courteous and helpful service on time all the time. Every customer says, I'll be back. We are the employer of choice, offering team member opportunities for growth, advancement, and rewarding careers in a fun, safe working environment. Now, what are the features of a mission? Now, I um I just flash a concrete example of a mission statement from different brands. But let's try to dissect it. Why is it so easy for people to understand their mission statement? It's simply because they have the features of an effective mission statement. What are these features? Mission must be feasible and attainable. it should be possible to achieve it. You don't just simply put things there because it sounds good. You need to make sure that what you write there is something that you can really provide, that it's something that you can really attain, it's something that you can really perform. It's because if you put too much word there, it's just like telling the world that it's just like telling the world of some or more false promises, then at the end of the day, you cannot actually do it. So you need to make sure that whatever you put in your mission statement are things that you can really provide. Next one. Mission should be clear enough so that any action can be taken. You see in the example, you see in the mission statement of Apple, of Gap, all right, of Coca-Cola. It's very clear. The purpose why they exist is very clear. So therefore, people can really say the main reasons of their existence: to provide design leadership, to provide to provide an active social platform, and so on and so forth. It should be precise enough. You don't need to put you don't need to make it too wordy. Like for instance, for Coca-Cola, all right, to refresh the world. The word to refresh the world is very simple. The word is very simple. It's not highfalutin, so therefore people can just simply understand it the moment that they read it. Just like for instance, the tagline of Frank Drelon. The tagline of Frank Drelon is the big man. That tagline was conceptualized and paid for millions of people, millions of peso, I'm sorry. Imagine, it's just the combination of the word big man. It was Secretary Ramon Jimenez who coined that tagline for Frank Drilon. All right, the big man of the Senate. Because that word big man connotes a different meaning. It's not about his weight. All right, it's a different thing. It's a simple word, it's understandable, it's very clear. Next one, it should be inspiring for the management, staff, society at large, or the stakeholders concerned. Words should be encouraging. All right, you don't put words there that are so blunt and so lame that it will not push people to actually perform it. All right, it should be engaging, it should be encouraging. Next one, it should be unique and distinct, that it can leave mark to people once na nabasa nila. That's why there's no actually there's no original mission statement, because people will just simply look at the mission statement of other company, and from then they try to conceptualize their own. However, the main point here is that yes, it's true na sometimes before you make your own mission statement, you try to look at the others. But then as much as possible, once you decide to create your own, make it different and unique in a way that once people saw it, mat- matatandaan nila that it is the mission statement of a brand where you are connected. Next one, it should be analytical. It should analyze the key components of the strategy. All right? It should be rational. It it should be subject to a certain strategy, and later I will tell you what is my point, what do I mean with that a mission statement should be a subject of strategy. That when we make a mission statement, we are looking at it that it can be a subject of strategies in the future, or there are strategies that you can do to be able to execute what you included in the mission statement. Next, it should be credible. All stakeholders should be able to believe in it. It's not just like involving the stakeholders and putting up spiring words there, but you need to make sure that whatever you write there is something that is credible. All right, that people, all the stakeholders concerned will be able to believe in that particular statement. Now, after the mission, let's proceed to another part of the strategic intent, which is the vision. A vision statement identifies where the organization wants or intends to be in the future, or where it should be to best meet the needs of the stakeholders. It describes dreams and aspirations for the future, or simply, as mentioned earlier, when we speak about a vision, this is what the company wants to be at a certain point in time. For instance, Microsoft vision is to empower people through great software anytime, any place, or any device. Walmart's vision is to become worldwide leader in retailing. It's something that they want to achieve in the future. All right? Now, what's to include in a vision statement? So one, it's there should be a time frame, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to put specific date and time on the mission statement. The point there is, at a certain point in time, that particular vision that you include there is achievable in this time context. For instance, you are looking at that particular vision statement to realize in 10 years. You don't need to put there that in 10 years, you need to realize that. All right? But you know, all right, that this particular statement or vision statement is achievable in a particular time frame. Next, a company name. All right, not literally putting up the company name, but sometimes just connecting the company in the vision. Next, what you will accomplish, definitely what you really want to achieve, and how will you have accomplish it. What will be the actions that you will do to be able to achieve it. For example, uh, the vision of the PDM is to be a premier educational institution in the region. All right, at a certain point in time, that is their vision. That is technically what they want to be in the future. How do they want to accomplish that? Is by means of producing graduates that are that are effective, that are competitive, that are efficient, so that, all right, the question of what you will accomplish is viable or achievable, which is to be a premier educational institution in the region. Now, the problem sometimes with scrutinizing mission and vision of a particular organization, sometimes we want to put so much prestige on it. We want to put so much words, the glamour of words in it, that the action of the company is not speaking anymore to its vision and its mission. Example, what you're doing is technically contradicting the mission. You're not being true to the mission because it sounds too good. All right, it sounds too glamorous. It sounds too the prestige of the mission is something that you cannot do. So there is no consistency. That is where conflict will came in, because where will you base now the strategy when you're not even following the vision and the mission, the goals and the objectives that you lay down? That's why choosing or deciding strategic intent, the combination of all this statement, is very crucial. That's why in businesses, in real businesses, you don't just simply sit down there and decide just for 1 hour and say, this is the vision, this is the vision. It requires brainstorming, collaborative efforts of people to decide, because it has something to do, and it will directly or indirectly affect the whole operation of the business. When I say the whole operation of business, it will affect the culture of the people. It will affect the organizational behavior. It will affect the brand. It will affect the image. It will affect the competitors. It will affect the consumers and all that. So you see, it is not just a simple statement. It is more than that. All right?
So that's why I am trying to discuss this thing to you. It's because you will have your business plan, and you will be responsible in making your own mission vision statement. And I don't want you to put mission vision statement there that are not realistic, because you expect, all right, people would really, or businessman would want to make a mission and vision statement that is pleasing to the eyes. Kahit kayo, kapag gumawa kayo ng vision and mission statement nyo, sa business plan nyo, pagandahan ng words ang gagawin nyo. But I tell you, it is not about the kind of, well, sometimes it really matters, but the point here is that whether the words are simple, the words are complicated and highfalutin, sometimes the main point here is, are you true to the statement that you decided to put there? O baka palamuti lang yan. Again, this will be the primary basis of the actions or strategies that you will have. So you need to make sure that the mission and vision and the goals and objectives is clear. Not only to the owner, but even to the employees and all the stakeholders concerned. Now, for instance, let's have this. A vision statement is called a picture of your company in the future. Your vision statement is your inspiration, and it answers the question, where do you want to go? What you want the organizations to be? Example, Toyota will lead the way to the future of mobility, enriching lives around the world with the safest and most responsible way of moving people. All right? So it's very clear what do they want or how do they picture out Toyota in the future. Next, for Microsoft, to be led by a globally diverse workforce that consistently delivers outstanding business results, understand the various cultural demands of a global marketplace, is passionate about technology and the promise it holds to utilize human potential and thrives in a corporate culture. And lastly, BMW, a car company, to become most successful premier manufacturer in the car industry. You see how you narrate it, the narratives of it. Sometimes it's just simple, the words are basic, but it's there, just like BMW. It is a little bit complicated, too complex in words, just like Microsoft, but you can understand it. With Toyota, it's in the middle of complex and simple. All right, it's in the middle, but you can understand it. So therefore, what should be the features of an effective vision statement? It must be unambiguous. All right, when we speak about ambiguity, all right, dapat it is something that is not vague. Kumbaga sa tubig, all right, you can actually see the main point of it. Just like the second point, that it must be clear. Somehow these particular two bullets are connected to one another. When we say it's vague, it's ambiguous, it's something that is clear. Kumbaga merong, it's not that it's not clear. Pero kumbaga sa tubig, ito ay uh, malabo, o kaya it needs filter para malinaw o maintindihan mo ano ba talaga yung gusto nilang ma-achieve. It must harmonize with organization's culture and values. The dreams and aspirations must be rational, realistic. Vision statement should be shorter so that it is easier to understand. All right, let's speak. Going to more specific, goals and objectives. What's the difference between a goal and objective? So let's have this one first. A goal is a desired future state or objective that an organization tries to achieve. You see, in this particular context, we cannot easily decipher which is goal and which is objective. And some people used to define this term, or used to um, talk about this term interchangeably. When I say interchangeably, sometimes they would like to talk about objective, but they are using the term goal. And sometimes they would like to talk about goal, and they are using the term objective. So later we will talk about the specific difference of goal and objective. Goals specify in particular what must be done if an organization is to attain mission or vision. Goals make mission more prominent and concrete. They coordinate and integrate various functional and departmental areas in an organization. Well-made goals have following features. All right, let's have the difference. Goals are the outcome you intend to achieve, whereas objectives are the actions that help you achieve a goal. Objectives, on the other hand, are specific action one takes within a certain time frame. All right, tangibility. Goals can be intangible and non-measurable, but objectives are defined in terms of tangible market. Let's have this example so that you can understand it. All right, what is a goal? I want to lose 40 pounds by Christmas. That is the goal. And the objectives are the specifics. I will follow the Atkins diet. I will also do 30 minutes of cardio exercise per day and 20 minutes lifting weight so that you can achieve the goal, which is to lose 40 pounds by Christmas. Again, when we speak about objectives, these are the specific actions that you will do to be able to achieve the goal. Another example, goal, become profitable. What will be the objectives? Lay off workers, close branches, etc. All right, a goal describes where you want to be in the future. However, unlike objective, it does not explain how you plan to get there. All right? You see, with objectives, the plan, the action is very clear. But with goal, it's just what you want to achieve. Okay? Now, let's have this one. So let's try to dissect the mission statement. This is my point earlier. You know, ladies and gentlemen, my dear student, sometimes it's just mission. But then you are taking a course that is business in nature. And if other courses, like for instance, IT, office administration, or edu, it will be fine with me if they will not look at mission statement the way that I am presenting it to you now, because that is not the core of their chosen study. But with you, you are in business. So therefore, you need to understand how mission and vision statement coordinates with goal. And so therefore, you can provide objectives or strategy to actually realize that mission. Example, okay? The mission statement of this particular company is Word for Word is a secretarial services company that provides word processing and computer graphic services for companies in the San Francisco Bay Area. Our mission is to build a reputation among local businesses as the most knowledgeable, most reliable, and friendliest word processing resource around. Now, let's try to look at the possible plan, all right? Or the things that you want to do. In this particular mission statement, there are three clear goals, all right? You would like to enhance staff expertise. Paano mo nasabi yan? It's simply because you want them to be knowledgeable. All right? That's the first goal. The second goal now is that you want to increase brand awareness. Your mission is to increase your brand awareness. How do you do that? It's because you say in your statement, your mission is to build a reputation. Next, you say here that you want to be most reliable, that your mission is to be most reliable. So therefore, your goal is to improve customer service. So once the goal are clear, you can create now objectives that will actually make the goal realize. Example, all right, I'll make it slower. Enhance staff expertise. This is one you want to achieve. This is technically what you do. All right. How will you able to do that? How will you able to enhance staff expertise? One, schedule regular training seminar. Second, have all staff certified. Okay? These are specific actions that you will do to be able to execute the goal or the plan, which is enhance staff expertise. Once you enhance the staff expertise, you will be true to your mission, which is to be the most knowledgeable brand. Okay? Second, increase brand awareness. How will you do that? Create customer referral bonus program. Second one, begin monthly newsletter. Again, if you will able to execute this properly, you will achieve the goal or the plan. Once you increase brand awareness, you will be true to your mission, which is to build a reputation. All right? Next, the third goal is improve customer service. How will you do this one? Hire two new employees because probably they have only certain number of employees and they see that it's not enough. Install new job tracking software. If these objectives are met, you'll be able to achieve the plan or the goal, so therefore you will be the most reliable. So the main point here, ladies and gentlemen, you dissect the mission and the vision statement. And once it is clear from the words that you choose, you can actually create or plan goals. And these particular goals will allow you to conceptualize for objective, which will be your strategy to make sure that you are in line with the mission and the vision of the organization. Let's have more example. The goal is to increase profit margin. Okay? That's the goal. How will you able to do that? Reduce operating cost by 10% in 18 months. This is technically the means on how will you able to achieve the goal. In reducing operating costs by 10% in 18 months, what will be your strategy or plan of action? Okay? Finance department will conduct an in-depth analysis of identifying low-cost supplier. Once the strategy, all right, is good, feasible, realistic, and attainable, you can reduce the operating cost. Once you reduce the operating cost, you can increase the profit margin. Okay? So therefore, let's have another one. Let's have another one. Improve employee skills. All right. What will be the specific means that you can do to improve employee skills? Conduct a training program in the next 12 months to improve employee skills. What will be your strategy in conducting the training? A special committee will be formed to select and hire a professional trainer to conduct the training. Once this action is effective, you can conduct an effective training. And once you conduct an effective training, you can improve employee skills. Okay? Last one. Improve profit margin. Increase profit margin. It's the same. Okay. It's the same goal. Sometimes you have the same goal, but you can create different objective and so therefore create different strategy. This time, increase sales volume by 20% in 12 months. So since you have a different objective, a different strategy, all right, is implemented or proposed. The strategy is marketing department will create and implement a plan to increase sales in region 3 and 5. Once it is executed well, you can increase the volume. Once you increase the volume, you can increase the profit margin. Now, these particular strategies or the action plan, these are already the approved strategy that you will do, all right, to execute the objective. However, before coming up with the final strategy, you need to analyze, evaluate the strategy first. Hindi naman isang strategy lang ito. Kaya ang gagawin natin is that you will lay down smart strategy and will try to dissect whether that particular strategy is dominating equilibrium or a nonsense strategy at all. All right? Next, The goal. In this particular example, I just like to note, ladies and gentlemen, that you can have one particular goal, but the means to do it or the objectives are different. So therefore, the strategies are different as well. Get our engineers into the head of our customers to improve the blank, the product, for instance. Get our engineers into the heads of our customers to improve the product. What will be the specific objectives? Get our top 200 members to send direct qualitative reports about how they use the product and their thoughts towards it. And the strategy to do that? Create a powerful sense of importance and exclusivity around being among the few to be able to give this direct report. These are our most widely respected members and experts. Second objective, get members with 3 to 30 contribution to share the biggest frustration with the product. How will you able to do this one? Amplify the feeling of having their biggest frustration finally resolved, and it was them that made it happen. Okay? Next, get lurkers average less than 5 posts per month to vote on which changes they would engineer to prioritize. Build a sense of playful jealousy and rivalry between members to have their issues rank at the bottom. I just like to make it clear. All right? On this one, objective does not explain how you plan. However, unlike an objective, it does not explain how you plan to get there. When speak about objective again, these are the specific ways that you can do to be able to achieve the goal. Now, to be able to achieve these specifics, you will do certain plan. And these are the strategies. Okay? Don't get confused, ha? So, in doing so, all right, in having an effective, a reliable strategic intent, we will start to scan, to evaluate internal and external factors. All right? This is by means of the SWOT analysis. When we speak about internal analysis, these are within the control of the company. It's internal. Strength, positive things that is within the control of the company. Weakness, negative things that is within the control of the company. External analysis, opportunities, positive things that are beyond the control of the company. Threats, negative things that are beyond the control of the company. What is my main point here? People, students, or even businesses will just simply say it's just so easy to make a SWOT analysis. But you know, even those doctorate degree holder in business, even those who's taking masters in business administration, they fail to execute a reliable SWOT analysis because they fail to analyze whether this particular thing is really within the control of the company or beyond the control of the company. Because you cannot strategize without thinking kung ito ba ay kontrolado mo o itong bagay o itong action na gagawin mo is beyond your control. Because if that is beyond your control, you need to execute more actions about it. Example, it has something to do with dealing the government. All right? In the case of ABS-CBN, the internal factor there is their accomplishments, what they have done for the Filipino people, that is within their control. Their employees, their records, and all that. External control are those things that they cannot control. Political turmoil, na pag-initan sila, they cannot control about it. Kahit magbigay pa sila ng pera, they cannot control the mentality of these people. So therefore, they need to strategize. And their strategies are anchored according to the scanning of the internal and external factors. But this is in another phase. I just like to introduce SWOT analysis because this is the basic type or matrix of analysis that is very common to all. But today, I'd like you to absorb the context of strategic intent or the vision, mission, goals, and objectives, and how it correlates or coordinates to each other to be able to make a strategic, structuralized, realistic, and attainable strategy. All right? So, as we get along, we will have another example, and primarily by next time, all right, probably by next week, we will dissect certain mission and vision statement, and we will come up to strategies. All right? Kasi pag nag-create kayo ng strategy, gagawa pa tayo ng graph for us to decipher which is dominating, which is equilibrium. We will not just simply decide just because you think it's the best one. We need to make concrete analysis on the strategies presented so that, all right, the plans or the actions are valid. All right. So by next time, by next week, we will start the analysis phase. But this week, we will have certain activities that will be uploaded in the Google Classroom that will talk about or that will focus about connecting strategies to the strategic intent. All right. So that's all for this session. Be updated with the activities that will be posted in the Google Classroom.